Yo, what's going on, Dragon Ballers? Welcome back to another video. We are back in a set 19 Fighters Ambition reveals, and we're almost done breaking down all the archetypes in time for national season. And today we're talking about the blue Gotenks superhero archetype that is coming out in Fighters Ambition. I just think it's so funny that such a minor character and like a joke relief character gets its own deck and archetype in this set. I guess it kind of just goes to show that this game is never gonna have a problem with like finding new characters or new themes to make decks and archetypes out of, because such a minor character in this movie gets its own entire deck. So I don't know, something that people used to worry about back in the day with Dragon Ball. There's not enough content, so they'll run out of characters to make cards and the game will die. But yeah, that's been completely unfounded, which I think is just kind of interesting. But anyways, we'll get into this breakdown today. If you guys are new here, make sure to subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss a video. And if you guys want to help support the channel, there are tons of ways to do so down in the description. But since we are talking about nationals, if you guys want to step your game up, maybe check out the competitive articles that I post or inquire about coaching if that's something that you're interested in, make sure to check out the Patreon down in the description. Not only does it really help the channel out, but I'm looking to help you guys get ready for your major tournaments. Anyways, let's jump right on into the breakdown. We are starting, of course, with the leader. Now, I can't remember off the top of my head how many leaders in this set have Z leaders, but I feel like for the Zenkai block being a thing, it's a rather low amount. Like, I know both the yellow leaders have it, neither of the blue leaders have it. I guess both the red leaders do, and I guess both the green leaders do. So just the blue archetypes don't have Z leaders. I think that's kind of weird, but yeah, I don't know, just something I thought I'd see more of with the Zenkai series as a whole. But anyways, we have the leader here. Goten and Trunks auto once per turn when you use a blue card from your hand in a combo, draw one. So I've said it a million times in these videos, but this set is all over the place in terms of how these decks are generating Z energy. Some of them are pretty solid at it, like Blue Gohan, which we'll probably talk about tomorrow. Some of them are really bad at it, like Green Gogeta. Yeah, Gogeta. Some of them are really bad like that, where you just combo cards for absolutely no value just because they have effects that activate in the Z energy. And then you have a deck like this, which is like okay at making Z energy. Like, you're obviously incentivized to combo and draw once per turn, so you'll make a Z energy once per turn, or yeah, at least during this method. But it's still not anywhere near the same level of Z energy and draw power of like SS4 Gogeta or Red Sin, right? So it just completely fails in comparison, but it's a different color, so maybe there's some different things going for it. Awaken relies 4 or less, or you have 2 or more energy and 1 or more Goten and Trunks superhero cards in your Z energy, and or drop, draw 1 card, untap 1 energy, and add a card from life to hand until you have 6 life left. Then we have Gotenks Fusion Hiccup. When this card attacks, draw 1 and it gets plus 5k for the turn. Auto, when this card attacks a battle card with energy cost of 8 or more, the card this card attacked can't attack during your opponent's next turn and negate this skill for the game. So that's completely just thematic line of text. If you guys saw the movie, you'd understand where that comes from. Is this effect like good? It's fine, it's cool that it's on the card, but it's probably rarely ever to come up. So I guess having extra text is not a bad thing as long as it's not like some sort of restriction on the card. So it is what it is. It comes up if it comes up. Active battle once per turn for a blue if your opponent has 3 or more energy and there are 1 or more Goten superhero and Trunks superhero cards in your combo area. Draw 1 card, untap, switch 1 of your blue Gotenks superhero cards to active mode. And at the end of your turn, switch 1 of your energy to active mode. Okay, so with that last line there, you're paying 1 for this effect. We're getting that 1 back at the end of the turn, so that's good for going into your opponent's turn defensively. Now notice too that it untaps any Gotenks superhero card. There is of course a Gotenks superhero boss monster we'll see later on, but this can also untap the leader, and the leader's auto to draw and gain 5k is not once per turn. So this guy can swing for 20 the first time, and then 25 the second time, and then of course, like depending on where you combo that Goten and Trunks, you know, the attack might be even larger. You might do that on your first leader swing, combo the Goten and the Trunks, pay the blue, untap the leader, etc. Now, what's cool is, like, again, your auto to draw is not once per turn, and this effect itself draws you a card, but on the downside of that, you have to combo a Goten and a Trunks, so you are losing 2 cards from hand in that regard. I guess you can, no, you wouldn't be able to sequence it where you'd attack with your unawakened leader first, then combo, then awaken, because you lose out on your leader swing and draw. I'm just trying to wonder if there's a way to combo these cards without just making them be complete minuses from hand, but there probably isn't a way to do that. So while you do draw 3 cards over the course of this play, you're comboing 2 cards anyway, so you don't actually net that much, but you can hit for big numbers. And the fact that your leader can swing multiple times is really cool for getting around certain floodgates, like Flying Nimbus, Forbidden Power, like pre-errata Violent Rays as a kind of poor example, but you know, it's kind of like going back to the Reboot Gohan thing. Like, obviously this is not as aggressive as Green Reboot Gohan, but it is still like a multi-swinging leader, which can be pretty valuable in some cases. So I do like the leader for that kind of alone. Then we have some main deck stuff. So a Wild Fighter is born, 1-drop, activate main / battle, limit 1. If your leader's character name includes Goten, Trunks, or Gotenks, add one card with Sun Goten in its character name and one card with Trunks in its character name, both blue with energy costs of 3 from your deck or drop to your hand, then shuffle your deck if you look through it. This card's really cool. It's a straight up +1. Add a Goten, add a Trunks. The only downside is it's an extra card, but I think it's probably still pretty good in the deck, again, just for increasing your raw hand size, because this will kind of act like your leader's raw draw 1 that your deck doesn't actually have until you awaken. So for example, like turn 1, you can activate this, increase your hand size, and then, you know, get your leader combo draw effect, and you've actually, again, increased your hand size. So that's kind of cool. Goten Tenacious Tag Team. We have auto when this card's played. Choose one of your opponent's battle cards under cost of 4 or less and place at the bottom of the owner's deck. Activate limit 1 for a blue if your leader's a blue Trunks superhero card or a blue Gotenks superhero card, and you place this card from your hand in your drop. Search your deck for one Trunks superhero card with energy cost of 3 and add it to your hand or play it, then shuffle your deck. Trunks Tenacious Tag Team. Auto limit 1 if your leader is a blue Gotenks superhero card. When this card's played, choose one of your opponent's unisons with a specified cost of 1 and return it to the owner's hand. So we've seen a lot of unison removal come out in this set, in the Zenkai series in general, and this is a pretty cool one. While it's very specific to unisons with specified cost of 1, this is just a nice niche that blue Gotenks has if a unison like that ever becomes popular in the format. Activate limit 1 if your leader is blue Goten superhero or a blue Gotenks superhero, and you place this card from your hand in your drop. Search your deck for a blue Goten superhero card with energy cost of 3 and add it to your hand or play it, then shuffle your deck. So remember that your leader can also awaken with Goten's Trunks in the drop, not only your Z energy. So these cards are pretty important as search material and getting you awaken as well. So these are definitely all a bunch of really solid cards. Then we have Goten Fast Improving. We have a 3-drop 15k auto limit 1 when this card is discarded from your hand by a union skill, draw 1, and then place this card in the owner's drop when your opponent attacks with a battle card to get the attack. Now for any of my newer players out there, this auto, even though it doesn't really specify it, that does have to be in the battle area, because when an auto like this would activate, it's implied that it's from the battle area if a different location is not specified. So you wouldn't be able to like negate an attack with this card from your hand, just letting you guys know that. All right, then we have Goten Developing Teamwork and Trunks Developing Teamwork. So Goten first, we have a 3-drop blocker. When this card's played, draw 1. Activate main limit 1 for a blue if Trunks superhero is in your Z energy. Play this card from your hand, then activate battle once per turn if a Trunks superhero is in your combo area. Switch card to active mode and it can't attack for the turn, so you can attack with it and then get it to restand as the blocker going into your opponent's next turn. Then Trunks Developing Teamwork, 3-drop 15k Revenge, but it doesn't have blockers, so I guess just disincentivizes your opponent from attacking this with battle cards. Auto, when this card's played, draw 1. Activate limit 1 for a blue if Sun Goten superhero is in your Z energy. Play this card from your hand, then activate battle if a Goten superhero card's in your combo. This card gets plus 5k for the turn, so you are able to swing for that for, I guess technically 25k, because you'd be comboing it on this guy's attack most likely. So 1 energy 25k attacker is not too bad. I think overall, I think these are just solid cards. They're all playable for 1 energy at various points in the game, whether you're playing them by their own effects or you're playing them off of the Tenacious Tag Team cards that we saw just a few minutes ago. So overall, I mean, solid cards, like I said. All right, then we have a very interesting unison pair. So we have Goten Tournament Competitor. This is a 2-drop 15k unison. It's got Empower Blue for 3, so it can carry over 3 markers from a previous unison. Permanent if you have cards. If you have a card with Trunks and its character name in play, reduce a specified cost of this card in your hand by 1, so you can play it for 1 energy. If this card has 3 more markers on it, when this card's played, your opponent places 1 card from their hand at the bottom of the deck. Activate main for plus 2 rather. Draw 1 card, place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, and then choose one of your cards with Trunks in its character name, and it gets plus 5k for the turn. Then we have Trunks Tournament Competitor. We have same thing in Power Blue 3. If you have the Goten in play, it reduces cost by 1. If this card has 3 more markers on it, when it's played, you draw 1 and activate main plus 2. Draw 1 card, place 1 card from your hand at the bottom of your deck, and then choose one of your Sun Goten cards, and it gets plus 5k for the turn. Okay, so you can kind of see the thing they're going for here. This sort of like unison swapping in and out mechanic where you have abilities based off in power, you have the ability to cycle through your deck, give your other guys plus 5k for bigger attacks. So it seems like there is a way to get attacks to kind of stack high in this deck, because you have a lot of plus 5k power boosts, plus you're incentivized to combo, so you should be attacking for pretty decent numbers in this deck. But I will say, like, playing 8 unisons of this type of swappy nature can probably be pretty clunky. Especially because they are unisons, you can't really use them to fuse or anything like that. So while they are 15k Gotens and Trunkses, they don't really match up in the fusing regard of the whole thing. And a lot of decks are moving away from unisons anyway. Like, of course, there are still meta decks that play unisons 110%, but a lot of these combo centric decks like this might tend to be might not end up playing a Unison, especially if a lot of the main deck takes up you know, slots with a lot of the archetype stuff. That could definitely be a thing, but maybe these are really good. I don't think they're like that incredible where you would, you know, probably play these over some other blue Unisons, but again, maybe they're pretty decent. I haven't really put the time into these Unisons in particular. And then wrapping it up, we have 2 Gotenks cards. So the first one's actually a tournament pack promo that is not legal for Nationals, so don't worry about having to pick this up if you're looking forward to building this deck. But this is Gotenks Fusion Practice, 3-drop 10k. Notice it's a regular Gotenks, not a Gotenks superhero, but swap 8, limit 1 for a blue. If you have 3 or more energy, you can swap into the Gotenks superhero on the right. And then activate main for a blue. If your leader's blue has Gotenks in its character name, you send 1 blue card with Goten and 1 blue card with Trunks from your hand and or drop to your warp. Play this card from your hand. So you're able to get the fusion out for 2 energy if you want to do it this way. But again, this will not be legal for Nationals, so this play doesn't exist until after Nats, let's just say. But anyways, Gotenks Reckless Rush, 8-drop 25k, deflect, triple strike, Union Fusion for 3, draw 2 cards. Permanence card cannot be switched to active mode during your charge phase. That is such a weird thing on this card. I don't know why they felt like they had to put that stipulation on it. But anyways, the rest of it, once card's played, choose one of your opponent's battle cards wearing barrier and place at the bottom of the owner's deck. So more and more barrier removal like we've been seeing in the set and in the Zenkai block in general, really. But again, that permanent where it can't restand, I really don't think was necessary. Like, yes, you can restand this with your leader's activate battle, but that makes this like a 4 energy play to essentially give it dual attack. And then the rest of the game until it gets killed, which doesn't have barrier, so it's probably getting killed fairly easily. It's just sitting there in rest mode, like very, very strange. You could play like Zarbon and untap it defensively, but do you really want to do that? Probably not. Like, I think if you're going to do this type of weird thing where it had to stay in rest mode, just give it barrier. Like, I have to go through hoops to restand it, and it can just get killed anyway. And I just feel like a lot of stuff in this set, like the Shenron Z battle card and Yellow Piccolo, for example, that card should have also had barrier. Like, if you're going to put these weird things on these cards that make them especially vulnerable as battle cards without barrier, the amount of removal in the game should be heavily taken into account. But that's just my critical 2 cents. But anyways, this archetype as a whole, I like a lot of stuff it has going on. I don't quite think it stacks up to the powerhouses of current blue decks, which is like SS3 Reboot, Gamma, maybe even Blue Beerus coming out of Anniversary Box support. And then, of course, you have Red, Gogeta, Sin. This deck doesn't scream that it's doing anything super impressive to me in relation to those, but who knows? I could be wrong. But anyways, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about this archetype. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.